Namaste, everyone.
Shanti.
I'm here today with Eileen Ruffer, Swami Japananda. And here's my first question. Eileen, when did you become interested in yoga or meditation?
Yes, my spiritual journey, it really began in my early 20s. I was engaged to be married on July 2nd, 1966, but my fiance decided he wanted to join the Air Force, and they sent him to Okinawa, Japan for 18 long months, and that long separation just caused the relationship to dissolve away at that young age. And it became a very empty period in my life for quite a long time. And to complicate matters, I had been brought up a very devout Catholic, and I don't know why, but I just lost interest in the Catholic faith. And I lost that deep connection that I had, which added even more emptiness to my life. It was just a very unhappy time for quite a while. But I would still go to church some mornings to pray to my Blessed Mother, to my Ishta Devata. They had a beautiful statue of her in the church. And one morning, I prayed so fervently to her to help me find some meaning in life, to bring something into my life to help me come out of this sad period. And I walked out of the church and I went to a convenience store to get a donut. And I looked at the magazine rack and I saw a Dell horoscope magazine. And I picked it up, I looked at it, and I bought it. And that magazine led me to a deep love of astrology. I read more and more on it and would often spend a lot of time hand calculating horoscopes for my family and friends. There were no computers at the time. And it created a serendipity that led me to the path. I started reading books by Madame Blavatsky, Gurdjieff, and went to the Theosophical Society. And all of that knowledge turned into a deep, deep longing to find a guru. I even thought of going to India to find this guru that I was looking for and that I really longed for, a teacher. And that is how my interest in yoga began.
Wow, thank you. So, how did you find Kriyananda? How did you find the Temple of Kriya Yoga?
Well, on this serendipity, I found an astrology teacher on the north side of Chicago. Her name was Christine Rector, very lovely teacher. And I took a 6-week astrology class from her. She talked about the Swami at the temple. And she went to this temple and she said, Swami said this, Swami said that. And this Swami that she talked about caught my interest. And when her course was over, and this was January in 1972, I called information for the temple's phone number and I called the temple and they gave me information on the Friday night astrology class that Kriyananda was teaching at the time. And I went to this astrology class. And at the time, he was called Swami Kriyananda, but it was later changed to Goswami Kriyananda. And this was at the temple on State Street. And it was a night that truly changed my life. And that is how I found the temple in Kriyananda.
So, what was your first impression of Kriyananda?
Well, at this Friday night astrology class that Kriyananda taught, we sat on the carpet in the temple waiting for the class to begin. And Kriyananda came from the back of the room and he walked up to his chair and he sat down at the podium. And he was wearing his street clothes, which struck me because I was expecting some man in spiritual robes to appear, but he looked so normal. And I noticed his long beard, which was so nice. and he started lecturing on astrology. But I think one of the, if not the first thing about Kriyananda that I remember so well was his voice. When he started talking, for me, it had a magnetism and there was such a warmth and an aliveness in it that to this day it brings a little tear to my heart when I think about it. And that made my soul lift and open and come alive. And what he was saying had so much spiritual depth. It tapped into that need for the spiritual void that I was feeling. And he sounded like he knew what he was talking about. And I felt like I had found something that I was looking for. There were people there that I had something in common with, a spiritual community, the same mystical language. And then I started to attend all the other activities that Kriyananda offered, his noons, his lectures, and I joined the seminary and was ordained as a Swami in 1973. And I even got a job at the temple and started working for Kriyananda in May 1973. And that was my impression of Kriyananda at the beginning.
Now, at what point in this process did you ask to become a disciple?
Well, I found all the teachings that Kriyananda was giving so meaningful. And there was something about the way he taught that had a compassion that made me feel comfortable in his presence and very trusting. And that's a key word, very trusting of him as a spiritual preceptor or guide and a guru. And he talked about discipleship. And after about 4 months, I asked him if I could become a disciple. And he said yes. And he initiated me as a disciple into Kriya Yoga at one of the discipleship meetings on May 31st, 1972. And that was really the doorway that opened my life to the spiritual path in Kriya Yoga.
Is there any particular teaching from the early times that with Kriyananda that stands out to you?
Yes, there was one teaching that stands out and is a light in my heart, truly. And there isn't a day that goes by that I don't reflect upon it. And I would say it changed my life. And it was a very simple teaching, and I talk about it all the time. At his meditations, he would say, God is life, with a capital L. When I came to the temple, I thought that God was some being in the clouds. I really didn't understand it all. I thought when you died, you went to heaven and you met him. But when Kriyananda said God is life, it expanded my way of thinking and it made me realize that God is down here with us. He is within us and external to us and in all living things. He's an all-pervading consciousness in life. And through the Kriya Yoga teachings and techniques, meditation, Kriyananda taught us that divinity can be experienced by becoming quiet and balanced enough to perceive it and to allow it to come into our field of awareness. And that was the teaching that most profoundly affected my life.
Wonderful. What has inspired you to stay with Kriya Yoga over the years?
Well, I think there were two things. One, the deep appreciation of being spiritually linked to the Kriya Yoga lineage, to that living current that was passed on through initiation. It is alive within us, all the way from Babaji through Yogananda, Sri Shelleyji, Goswami Kriyananda, to us, the living flames of the Kriya lineage. And secondly, I so appreciate the unselfish love and the awareness of the Kriya Yoga lineage that opened its doors not only to the monastics sitting in a monastery, meditating all the time, but to the householder, to those of us living in an ordinary city or urban life, maybe on a little slower path of service. And I would say that the teachings of Kriya Yoga and the way that Goswami Kriyananda so beautifully presented them to us over the decades are like fertile seeds of beauty that, for me anyway, have brought a more peaceful and a meaningful life. And as Kriyananda said, that enable us to walk the pathway to God with God. And that is my spiritual goal in this life.
Thank you so much, Eileen. I really appreciate you sharing all these words of wisdom with us. Namaste.